Hey, how's it going, everybody? I know it's been a while, but hey, we got a new toy to show off today. It is Space Ghost. This is from Mezco's 1/12 collection. So typically I show it from the very beginning, but let's save on some time. It comes in a normal plastic, standard plastic bag. It also comes with a nice little slip cover, which is exactly like the box. Show some nice art on the back. It's a little closer to the camera. Let's bring it back just a little bit. There you go, guys. There you go. Nice art there. Alright, so let's get to it. Standard 112 packaging. So it opens up for a nice window view of the product. Nice art on the side. Let's open this a little bit. There you go. Nice artwork of Space Ghost. The black and white works really, really well for that aspect of it. Okay, so there's the package. Typical, if you have any of these collection, you know what the package looks like. These guys are becoming more and more popular, so most of the people who are looking at this do know what you're getting. Alright, so let's pull this out. Alright. So on the bottom you can see the armature down here, the baggie for the extra spare parts, 2 extra effect pieces. We'll pull those out now so that we can have them aside for later. Okay. So first things first, we'll take care of the bonus character, or accessory as I call it, the monkey Blip from the old Space Ghost cartoon series, before we get to the main man. Alright, so let's take a look at Blip. Beautiful sculpt as always. Great feature. Let's get the light a little bit better. There we go. Bring the light in closer for you guys so we can get some better look at that monkey face of his. Okay, so let's go over articulation. We'll start with the tail. Tail swings just around the butt. That's about it. Nothing on the backpack. Ball joints at the shoulders. Elbow, hip, knee, and ankle has a nice ball joint on it. So posability of him, articulation is decent. Is not fantastic. It's decent. Not much you can do with him per se. He can't really hold anything or do anything. He's just a nice bonus character to add to the set. Is he necessary? Probably not. Some people could have probably done without him, per se, because you don't have the other 2 characters from the cartoon. But, take or leave it, you get him. Alright, so that's Blip the monkey. Alright, so let's get to Space Ghost. Let's pull him out. Alright. So here is Space Ghost in all his glory. Let's go over what he is composed of. The bodysuit is all cloth. Typical stretchy fabric material that you are used to with Mezco. The rest and the cape is cloth with a wire armature inside to allow you to do the dynamic posing, which is akin to Superman and Batman and any other character that you may buy from this series will typically have a wire armature in the cape. Okay, so those are the only 2 fabric components, the cape and the bodysuit. The rest, the hands, the head, the emblem, the belt, gauntlets are all plastic, which is a nice mixture. I think it's the perfect blend. Gives it that versatility of the cloth and the nuances that you need with the plastic. All right, so there you go. He's basic, but that's how he was in the cartoon, so that's exactly what you're looking for. Alright, so let's fix this camera just a little bit. Alright. And the monkey's not going to stay up, so we're just going to play with him for a second. We'll see if we can get him to stay up. There we go. Off to the side. Alright, so first things first, let's take a look at the second head that he comes with. So we're gonna see how easy it is to pop that off. That came smoothly off and very easily, which is what you want. You want it to be able to come off and not have to force it or feel like you're gonna break it. There's the more stern, angry Space Ghost, like he's in battle or he's angry, but looks great. All right, so let's look at the rest of it. Let's put back on the one it comes packaged with. That's the stern Space Ghost. Let's see, maybe. Okay, it looks like it's in there, but it doesn't. It feels a little loose, but I think that's just my imagination. Let's go over articulation before we get to the accessories. There is an ankle joint, double hinge knee, ball joint at the hip. Ankle feels like a ball joint with a tilt. Okay. Wrist. Elbow is, say a single? No, maybe it's double jointed. Double joint. You got one there, and you got one there. So that's a double jointed elbow. You have an ab, which is always good. You have the ab crunch in there. You have a waist. You know, you can't turn too much, but it's there. And you have the neck, obviously, that's on a ball joint, which seems to pop off fairly easily. Maybe a little too easily. I thought it was going to be a good thing, but it's semi-bad. Okay. But it works. You know, the head's not going to just go rolling off. See, it's not going to fall off, so that's fine. Okay, so let's put him aside for a moment. We'll put the head back in the package because let's keep things organized. And let's look at the rest of what comes on the top. Alright, so what do we got? We got some hands, we got some open hand, we got a pointed finger hand, and we got the flying hand, which is basically the straight up hand like that. We got the base, which comes with all the 112 figures of his logo. See it there. Very cool. So here come the other fun accessories you get. You get 2 extra Ray Blast hands, which we will put on. You also get a flaming effect and another flame effect. Let's get out the other effects as well from the bottom of the package, which couldn't be shown in the window display. So what do? We gotta try all this fun stuff out. Okay, so we got 2 other effects. We got this green effect, which is very similar to the orange. See, that looks the same. See, those 2 look the same, but the other end is very different. Now, I'm not a huge knowledgeable person on Space Ghost. I did watch the cartoons when I was a kid, but I don't remember all these different abilities. I'm sure somebody else is like a super fan of the Space Ghost, so they know what all these things are, but they're really cool to have. The effects are always a fun thing to have in your accessories. Okay, so let's start off with the most basic ones, which is the hand. I'm going to put just one of them on. Fist came off fairly easily, so goes back on just as easily. So there you go with that. There is always a concern of weight distribution when you have an effect that you put on somebody's hand, that the arm itself can't keep up the weight that's going further out. It does help, you know, the armature when you start doing this kind of stuff, if you have them in a flying and a dynamic pose, to have the hand like that. So there you go with that one. It's nice when they actually give you the molded hand and then the effect, because sometimes the effect likes to fall off when you're trying to do things. Here is the same hand, blue effect. I'm assuming that these are different abilities that are in his cuff. If you can see the buttons on there, I do believe that there's different abilities, so that's what they are. As soon as I can get this on, so it's not as easy as you'd think it would. First one went on fairly smoothly, and I'm assuming that that's just because probably the mold is a little tight, which is good. Yeah, that works really well. The tighter the mold, the better off you are with it plugging in, because you don't want it to be loose in the socket, because then it won't hold its form. But that one looks really nice. That looks really cool. So I'm assuming that's like an ice beam. Okay? Yep. Alright, so that's cool. Alright, so let's pop that off. Let's see. So we got this green one, and if you notice, you're not typically with some figures you would keep on the fist, Mezco thought it would be a better idea, since you really can't see inside, to just make it a plug-in. So you just you keep the fist off, and you just plug in the hand, which also isn't that easy. You really can't see what you're doing, so you're just hoping that it goes in. I'm not gonna force it because I don't want to break his arm, but you can. I think if you're gonna use that effect, you'll just do a little bit of work on it and it goes in. So there's that effect, which I think it's in there because there goes the head. So there you go. See, that head is not on there that tightly. So, and that came right off too. Let's try the head. Let's try plugging the head back in. So you saw I really didn't touch it. It just popped off. So okay, well, it's not loose, but it just seems like it doesn't take much for it to be removed. So all the effects don't use the fists. They're all plug-in effects that go right into the hand socket. See, so this one has a little bit more weight to it, considering the fireball at the end of it. But it works, and it doesn't really come off. Alright, and last but not least, it looks like some sort of flaming fist effect. We have those Tanamimation, ground-breaking, or flame effect accessories. I'm sure you could really make a nice look for him. This one seems a little difficult to place. Now, if you look at the actual socket itself, you can see that there's a bit of a shape to it, so maybe, just maybe, we gotta get the right angle. Me pushing on that head is gonna pop right off again. There we go. Maybe, I'm not sure with that. Flaming Fist on the package is actually on his opposite hand. So let's give that a whirl. I just glanced over at the package next to me, and it shows him with dual effects. Alright, so that seemed to have clicked in fairly well. Maybe it was just designed for the other hand and it just works better in that angle. And then you got the other flaming effect on this side. So you can have a nice, going full out, badass Space Ghost. Alright, so there are all the effects. There is Space Ghost. And Blip the Monkey. Thoughts? If you're a big, huge fan of Space Ghost, I'm sure you've already bought this figure, so what am I telling you for? He is cool. He is very reminiscent of the old cartoons. He is a perfect representation of him. If you love Space Ghost, or you know somebody who loves Space Ghost, then obviously this is a clear piece to pick up. The effects work all well. You know, it takes a little bit of effort to get them in, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not difficult. There was no breakage or anything like that. There's no issues that I see. The head is a little loose, but not to the point where you should be afraid to touch it and it will fall off. The Blip the Monkey could take or leave, personally. So yeah, I think that anybody who loves Space Ghost is going to want to pick this up. I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't think that Mezco is going to go back and reissue this guy. I think that there's a very solid niche for him. And once that supply is filled, you won't see him again. He is not a super popular character that there's going to be a huge following for him. I think that once he's done, he's done. So if you want him, get him now while you still can. I know there is an exclusive out there somewhere that you can get a glow-in-the-dark version, which would be really cool to have. I'm a sucker for glow-in-the-dark things. So, yeah, he is cool. He's worth the pickup if you really like Space Ghost. I think he's a great accessory. I think a lot of people in the 30s and 40s range would be like, if they saw this on your shelf somewhere, on your desk, they'd be like, oh, wow, I know that guy. So, yeah, he's really cool. I love the cape. The cape is one of those things where you can just sit here all day and just play with this over and over again and just keep changing the position until you got it just right, as the way that you like it. That dynamic posing with the cape is very clutch. It's very cool that Mezco has figured out how to make that really nice looking. I can't wait to get a Superman, which is on his way relatively soon, to play with that as well. So yeah, see, I keep playing with this guy while I'm talking to you guys because I do that. Great figure, worth it. Yeah, if you like him. And like I said, if you like him, then you probably already bought him, and I don't know what I'm telling you this for. If you're on the fence, get him, because I don't see him sticking around. I don't see him being like, oh, he's clearance, or somebody's not going to be able to get rid of him. I think that they made just enough of him to get it through, and he's one of those figures that, you just pick him up and be happy that you have him, and don't wait. So, fantastic job once again, Mezco. Can't wait to check out another one of your figures. There you go, everybody. See ya.